nephews, lock in. Tonight, we're here for two reasons. Number one, it's Thursday night, so we're going to be breaking down the ladies' profiles on Bumble. But more importantly, number two, we're using these profiles to teach you a bigger lesson. And your dating profile, it's not a scrapbook, nephews. It's a signal. And that's where a lot of people get this game twisted. They think a profile is a place to throw up a few pictures, a couple of prompts, a little attitude, a little bit of humor, and hope the right person feels something. No, nephews, that's not how it works. Your profile is all about your frame before you ever speak. Your pictures are talking. Your bio, it's talking. The prompts in the profile are talking. Your presentation of yourself is talking. And all it is telling these ladies one of two things. Either you move with clarity, stability, and standards, or you're performing, you're overselling, and you're hoping to be chosen.
And that is the birthplace of simp behavior.
And that's why this matters, Johnny, because a lot of these men are blaming the apps, blaming modern dating. They're blaming the algorithm when really their profile is leaking weakness. Nephews, your dating profile is telling on you. Now, before you ever get a chance to really connect with a woman. So tonight, as we go through these profiles, we're not just looking at who's attractive and who isn't. All right, we're not asking if I'd smash. We're looking at what these women's profiles are trying to communicate to us. Does it build trust? Does it show an amount of self-respect? Does it feel grounded? Does it feel thirsty, confused, bitter, try hard, or nephews? Is it all over the place? And that's the real conversation. So nephews, call in tonight. Put your questions in the chat, whatever you're struggling with, your profile, messages, your confidence, nephew, your standards, or even your results. Bring it here to us live right now. And look, understand this clearly. This is not about subscribers. This is not about chasing numbers. This is about helping you become the man that you're meant to be. A man with discernment, a man with standards, and a man whose presentation matches his value. All right, nephews, this is Swipe Smarter, and we're about to get started. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself before I bring out the ladies.
So I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I am a personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, where it's a little bit cold today, but still got the bike ride in. No excuses. Remember, you're not a victim, you're a volunteer. But I'm here to talk about not necessarily just my successes, but also my failures. And believe it or not, I've had plenty of those in the online dating experience over the last, God, what has it been, like 15 years? It's been mainstream. So, again, one of the things that I always tell you guys, whether it has to do with online dating, anything financial, self-confidence, self-improvement, anything along those lines, physical, mental, spiritual improvement. If you are thinking about doing something and it seems counterproductive to any of the things that I just mentioned, it sounds maybe a little bit reckless, maybe a little bit stupid, maybe a little bit expensive, maybe a little bit of something that might cost you a good chunk of your income for the next 18 years, whatever it might be. If it doesn't sound like a sensible thing to do, but you're compelled to do it anyway, talk to us first. All right, chances are one or both of us has done it and found out the hard way why you don't do it. Remember, gentlemen, people may talk about us, but it's because we screwed up so you don't have to. Those stories are gold, trust me.
Well said, Johnny. Now, real quick, I know we're about to go through the ladies' profiles and show these men how I vet women online. And I'll tell you, if I match with any of them tonight live on this show, I'm going to show them how to initiate DM contact. I want y'all to take notes. And I want to take an opportunity, though, tonight to talk to you men out here about your own dating profiles. And I want to start with the first thing that people feel before they ever read one word of your profile, nephews, and that's going to be your pictures. And we tell you this all the time. If you're struggling with your online dating profile, reach out to me, reach out to Johnny, ask questions. We want to see you do better. We will help you. Now, a lot of people think that the photos are just there to show what you look like. And that's surface level, nephew. That's really shallow. Your photos, what they're actually telling people is how you carry yourself. They're telling these women whether you move with confidence and clarity, whether you have an amount of self-respect for yourself, or whether you're careless, whether you're thirsty, you're hiding, you're trying too hard. Your pictures communicate all of that. Now,
Yeah, remember, she's not thinking that specifically, but remember, this is some sort of code written in her DNA to look for strength, stability, and confidence. And you are going to show that in as many ways and by as many sensories as she has. She wants to see it, not just in the way you look, but in the way you stay and carry yourself. She wants to feel like you are the one that can actually lead her and protect. That is the very basic, very mammalian, what do you want to say, primordial desire that is biological attraction. Those little subtleties are something that aren't even necessarily overtly on her mind, but they're up there.
well, and let's talk about that a little bit, Johnny. Because there's certain things that they are going to look at: bad lighting, old pictures, weird angles, or nephews, if your profile is nothing but group shots. Nobody's going to know which one
I
you
hate the
are.
group shots.
All right, if you're putting up like filtered selfies, the bathroom mirror nonsense Johnny's always telling you to stay away from, shirt off, attention,
Or at least flush the toilet
grabs,
first.
that creates friction, nephews. It doesn't build intrigue, it doesn't build mystery, and it makes these ladies hesitate. And there's a point that a lot of you miss in online dating. Hesitation, it kills momentum. If your photos make somebody stop and wonder what's off here, your profile is already working against you. Your profile, nephew, it should feel clear, current, grounded, and very intentional. It should make somebody feel like they know who you are, at least know who they're looking at. Now, not like they're trying to solve a puzzle or even decode your insecurities. So when we go through some of these ladies' profiles tonight, yeah, we're going to be looking at the photos and we're going to be asking questions like, do they build trust or do they lower it? Because if these pictures are weak and everything after that has to work harder to get my attention. So without further ado, Johnny, let's get into the first profile tonight.
Let's go.
I already previewed this one. That's right. Now, nephews, we're going to be previewing the profiles. I'm going to be jumping back and forth in between them all night. And we're not up to any funny stuff. This is all live. These are the profiles that Bumble is randomly giving me from the women in my area. And let's just get into this tonight, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bathroom selfies. We want to make sure none of them have a floater in the toilet that's in the background. So, we can't have that.
Well, I am looking for stuff in the background, okay?
Yeah.
Because the outside of your environment is a reflection of the inside. So if your house is a mess, if everything is a mess in the photo, she's probably just a mess in general.
It does happen. I mean, look, those things are indicative. Absolutely.
All right, let me see here. First up, we got Kayla, 33, PSS at Cleveland Clinic. She says,
that is.
I'll outfish you any day, and I promise I won't embarrass you on the golf course. I like a little friendly competition, but I'm just as happy laughing the whole time. I'm sarcastic enough to be adorable. A date building Legos and good music is better than nights out. Bonus points if you bring snacks.
Well, Kayla, I'm a pretty good golfer myself. Luckily, you're on Bill's profile here.
Johnny, basically, she's saying I like playful masculine energy. She wants chemistry without pressure. And she'd rather do something interactive than go sit for a boring drinks date. I noticed the profile says she's sober too, by the way, nephews. Now that's going to paint a pretty clear picture of how you need to get at this woman if you're to match with her. This, she's like I just mentioned here, this is not somebody you asked to meet you for a drink. I see a lot of fun and playfulness. I'll outfish you any day. A little bit of friendly competition there. Same thing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing there's a glorious absence of company lines here.
Yeah, I like the laugh. The building Legos are good music, Johnny. I like that.
Yeah.
Bring snacks. Okay. Let's see what else we got here.
But Legos, okay, not Mega Blocks. I don't care. Anybody says they're not the same thing. It's like one's Imperial and one's metric or something.
Like, what kind of Legos are we talking? Are we talking like Star Wars Legos?
Oh, I was talking about Mega Blocks. Yeah, like the
are we talking like some Harry Potter Legos? Like now I kind of want to see her Lego collection, Johnny.
I'm going to vote for Star Wars, but I guess any Lego collection's cool.
All right. It says, don't be mad if I eat all the red Sour Patch Kids and leave you the orange ones.
Nope. Swipe left. Get rid of her. Nope. You're not eating all my red Sour Patches. See, she was cool up until that point. You leave my red Sour Patch Kids alone.
Look, okay, so this prompt...
That's the problem. These girls are too demanding now. Now they want your Sour Patch Kids.
Johnny.
No. Left. I'm out.
Not the cap.
Okay, look. It's light and easy prompt. And look, I've actually had women do this before where they eat all the red ones and like want to leave me like the orange ones and stuff. So it is kind of funny. Mini Mom. Shout out to Mini Mom.
Hey, there she is.
Glad you can join us this evening. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We don't give you guys enough credit.
By the way, shout out to my Pittsburgh Penguins. They dropped the puck in about 10 or 15 minutes.
Now,
but I'm here with you.
She's got some ink, and Johnny, my blood type is ink. I might even have ink poisoning. So I'm looking at people's ink, especially on these prompts. So she's got some real nice ink here. But do you see the one on her right thigh there? Can you see what that is?
I cannot tell what that is.
That's a pineapple, Johnny.
Oh, here we go. Mini Mom, I am not explaining that again.
Johnny, this woman has my full attention.
Uncle Bill, I'm going to need you to go ahead and explain the pineapple. I'm not doing it again.
Okay. Well, it's interesting that it's a tattoo on her.
Yeah.
But the pineapple
usually goes by the door.
It's really like a sign of swingers and somebody into the swinging lifestyle. So I'm willing to bet that she's a lot of fun.
She spends a lot of time at the playground.
Well, look, the fishing. Okay, the profile overall with the fishing and the golf, it would give me something specific to work with. The Lego line, I think it makes her feel more human, and the Sour Patch Kids. Let's see what else we got here. I like this. She put that she's sober too.
All right, she can have the Sour Patch Kids, but leave my Cheez-Its alone.
Instead of drinks, let's go do something new that's awkward for both of us. You know what, Johnny? It'd be very hard for any woman to find something that's going to be awkward for me to do because I've trained my nervous system to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Kayla, my dear, you may be pushing the wrong envelope too because, again, if you run my account, remember, it's going to take, you have to get up pretty early to figure out a way to offend or make me uncomfortable. It's not an easy task. I at best we just stick to something a little more your pitch and what you described earlier.
Awkward for both of us is probably okay. This kind of signals comfort to me and openness, and maybe even I would say low performance pressure. You get that from it?
A little. A little bit. I mean, I think
Johnny, she's got a brown shirt on, Johnny.
Bless that bitch.
well, I mean, and see, that's where we can get away with figuring you're taking a little bit of time to figure things out. Why?
Well, here's the thing. Why I love dating Browns fans, Johnny. They're very loyal women. They're so loyal. Shout out to them. But Johnny, and this is key, nephews. Browns fans are never going to expect a ring.
Oh. I'm not allowed to say that because I'm a Steeler fan and all my Browns fan friends get mad at me. So I got to leave that one for Uncle Bill here.
She says, win me over by sending me songs I've never heard.
Bless that bitch.
All right, nephews, what you could take away from this profile is it creates a clear vibe. It's not a mystery. It's not chaos. It's not over sexual energy. It's a vibe. And I got to be honest, Johnny, she sounds active, playful, mildly competitive. I like that. And I'm getting a real feminine energy here without her trying too hard.
So, she's asking you to lead without asking you to lead.
Yeah. And I think she's also kind of socially easy to get along
Now, here's
with.
the thing. Young men, I know that says to you, oh, cool, we'll just swoop right in and just start leading. Look, man, she's going to have to be selective. She's going to be following somebody's lead. She's going to be observing how you lead. She's going to be observing how your body language, interacts with hers. So there are a lot of things she's going to be consciously and mostly subconsciously looking for that you probably never even thought of. Now, those may be controllable, those may be uncontrollable, but remember that this isn't just a kind of a slam dunk here. This is somebody who is going to selectively follow someone important's lead.
I mean, Johnny. I'm leaning towards swiping right on this chat. What do you think? I mean, there's some of this I like, and there's some of it that could be better. The part right here, sarcastic enough to be adorable, is decent, but I got to be honest, sarcasm can land wrong in profiles because everybody thinks they're funny.
Bruh.
Now, it's not terrible, but
it does exude a little confidence. Yeah.
It's not doing a ton of work either. All right. The sober note is useful and that's important to her lifestyle, but it's probably, it could be framed with a little more personality instead of just dropped in one of the pre-selected. I mean, look, this is an example of a woman who gives men enough to work with without over-explaining herself. Now, a good profile, nephews, isn't going to tell you her whole life story, but it gives the right kind of man clear openings. All right, and I think a profile works, Johnny, because it feels specific, playful, easy to enter. She's not trying too hard. She's not making men guess who she is. The fishing, the golf, the Legos, snacks, sober, friendly competition. That's enough texture for any man to know what kind of date actually makes sense with her. John, I don't think she's not selling perfection here. She's selling a vibe. And
more importantly, she's not demanding it either.
Well, you know what? I'm swiping right. Yeah, Mini Mom. Thanks, Mini Mom. Mini Mom says right. Shout out to Mini Mom.
Mini Mom, if they get married, you get an automatic invitation to the wedding.
Whoa! Pump your brakes there, buddy. I mean, of course, I'd invite Mini Mom to my wedding, but there's a vetting process and standards, and she basically
that's why it's gonna be such a momentous occasion.
Climb the Himalayan mountains to get me fresh Sheila Jit for my tea.
Oh, but here we go with that weird word again. What is that? Sheila Jit to quit? I don't know what that is.
All right, give me a second here, Johnny. I got to preview the next profile. Make sure that there's nothing in it we can't share.
By the way, while he's doing that, if you've had a crazy or fun or interesting or unique experience that you just think we need to hear about when it comes to online dating, leave it in the chat, write it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Also, we have our Monday night question and answer show. I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the live chat. So if you have questions that you would like for us to read on air, we'll go ahead and on air. We'll read them live, and we'll be glad to answer them live for you on our Monday night shows every Monday, 9:35 p.m. Eastern time.
Nephews, I apologize. Where are my manners? We're looking at these profiles. You can call us with your questions. I'll get our phone lines open. Here's our number. I'm being a bad host tonight.
He's doing good, man. See, the thing is, Uncle Bill didn't let circumstance dictate the way his night was going to go. We're still here like we said we would, and we're kicking ass for you.
All right, nephews, call up with your questions, whether they're about dating, fitness, or anything you need to know about. If you're going to have an interview next week and you'd like some tips for it, call in. We got you. All right.
Email is in the live chat.
Next profile, Johnny. I previewed it. We can show it. Let's get into this. Well, you know what? But hold on. Give me 1 second here. There are some points I would like to make tonight because, yes, we're breaking down women's profiles and we're showing men vetting process. But I also want to talk to them about their own dating profiles because their dating profiles are telling on them, Johnny, and I don't think they realize it. And specifically, nephews, what I'm talking about are thirsty prompts, try hard humor, and just overall weak self-respect in your own profile. Let me get the screen here. We'll get into Lisa's profile here in just a second, but let's get into this for a minute, Johnny. Let's talk about prompts in these young men's dating profiles because this is where a lot of them start telling on themselves. Too many of these guys use prompts like they're auditioning. And I can say this because I see these. You guys write me with your questions on these dating profiles. You send them to me. I look them over. I hope you guys improve them. So I can critique what I've seen. And I'm telling you here that a lot of the prompts, Johnny, make it seem like they're auditioning for women. They're trying to sound slick and funny and edgy and different. And
those are the same guys. Those are the same guys that are going to complain that they put in so much effort and nobody else puts in any effort for them. Those are the same guys that are going to say that.
Is the whole profile starts smelling like effort. And that's the problem.
And we mean excessive effort when we say that. I mean, we mean like being extra, going over the top here.
Nephews, real presence doesn't need to force itself on women. All right. Real confidence does not need to keep elbowing for attention. And real self-respect, and I'm going to be honest with you here, real self-respect does not show up thirsty. We're not desperate to stand out. So when your prompts are too sexual, when they're too performative, when they're too slick-mouthed, too clever for your own good, what they really communicate is, I need your reaction. I need your attention. Or I need this to land. And that pressure, it leaks through the screen.
Yep.
And this is another reason, like Johnny talks to you guys about funny and being funny and how to be funny. But try hard humor, it falls flat. And
yeah, like if funny's not your thing, I get it, but there's got to be something you can put across confidently.
Nephews, it's not that humor is bad. It's that humor used as a mask for insecurities, that's easy for women to feel. All right. And people may not be able to explain it, but they can feel it when somebody's reaching. Now, good prompts in your profile, they have personality, but it has a level of control. Okay. It gives people something real to respond to without tap dancing for their approval. And it sounds like somebody's comfortable in their own skin, not somebody that's trying to get picked. All right, so tonight, just remember, as we look at these profiles, Johnny and I really look at these prompts, and we ask if these prompts, they show personality or if they show somebody that's begging for attention, and that's a big difference. All right, let's see what we got here, Johnny.
What we got?
All right. Our next profile here is Lisa Jane. Says she's 34. About Lisa: soft heart, sharp tongue, a little witchy, aggressively sarcastic, and emotionally invested in minor league hockey. Loyal to my dog,
Bless that bitch.
my family, and my feral friend group, the Mingos. Frequently
I'm not gonna
spotted. She says frequently spotted yelling at refs during Cleveland Monster games like they personally wronged me.
So she's a little rough around the edges, and a lot of guys like that. I mean, I kind of get into that a little bit too. Aggressively sarcastic does kind of sound like that last step right before you cross over into abusive. So I would be watching that. But no, hockey fan, I'm all about that. I love me some Pittsburgh Penguins, as you can clearly see. But yeah, I think this sounds like fun. I think it sounds a little rough around the edges. I don't know if she would be a good mid or long-term girlfriend. But it definitely sounds like this relationship's going to start off with a bang, or maybe a few of them.
Okay. It does say that she drinks socially.
Don't we all?
Well, maybe that's why she's frequently spotted yelling at refs during Cleveland Monsters games.
I drink alone and talk. I drink alone and talk to myself. That's social.
All right, let's see what else we got here. My ultimate green flag is my dog liking you.
Bless that bitch.
I mean, as silly as that might sound to some people, animals do kind of have that sense.
No, I'm telling you, when I had a dog, if the dog didn't like somebody, I didn't like them.
Shout out to baby girl.
Hey, for real, the dog, man, they're so loving and loyal to you. They'll pick up on energy you might be missing, especially if you're not in tune to read it.
R.I.P. baby girl.
All right. So far, Johnny, I got to say the profile has a lot of personality. And that's something I like. The quickest way to my heart is making me laugh and surviving meeting my friend group without looking scared.
Bruh.
I think if you're really trying to find good pictures of yourself, by the way, to put on a dating site, knock it off with the mirror selfies. 1 or 2 is okay, but get yourself a tripod if you're that committed to it. I mean, I even happen to have one of those little remote picture snapper things now that I do videos for my fitness stuff. So, I mean, and they're not expensive. I think I paid like $3 or $5 for it. But get a tripod. I mean, everybody standing like this is great. But again, we kind of want to see a little more of your personality and your focus. And when we're taking, mirror selfies, and I do it too, we're kind of focused on making sure it's aimed properly. Are you centered right? And then there goes the fun of taking the photo in the first place. You're not expressing, you're not emoting, you're just kind of aiming. So get you a tripod, get you a friend to take the stupid picture. But I mean, show a little personality in your stance, a little body language, something like this.
All right, Johnny,
the elf picture was cool.
My real life superpower is looking like the responsible friend, but quietly encouraging chaos.
Oh. I'm intrigued as to what she means by that, but I got to tell you, we got that buzzword chaos. Man, listen. A girl, listen, I don't like to stereotype this way, but look, men, we just don't like drama and chaos as much. We just don't. And so when I see chaos and somebody says, oh, I'm a big ball of chaos, that's great. You're going to be great to invite to a party, and that's going to be the end of it. You'd be fun to have a few drinks with, and then, maybe have somebody else drive you home. I don't know. I don't know that I want to know what level of chaos we're talking here. Now, if that's sarcasm, great. But
Well, Johnny,
chaos is
okay,
something.
hear me out
Chaos
here.
is something we should be avoiding like kryptonite.
Hear me out here. This one has real personality, but it also comes with more edge. But it also has more polarization and more room for men to misread her. All right, because she opens with soft heart, sharp tongue, a little witchy, aggressively sarcastic, emotionally invested in minor league hockey. That's not a safe profile. That's a deliberate profile. She's not trying to appeal to everybody. What she's telling
she's
you
got a
up
niche.
front, what she's telling you up front is that I have bite, I have a little bit of flavor, and she has this like tribe energy, and she's not toning herself down to be easier to be liked.
Yeah.
And I think what the profile really here is communicating is the first thing that this woman is selling is identity. Not hobbies, not softness, not relationship goals, but identity. She wants you to feel her attitude before you even meet her. Now, and I got to tell you, from what I'm reading from the profile, John, her attitude is playful, but kind of sharp, emotionally expressive, socially animated. I mean, her friend group has a name, and probably loyal once you're locked in. She's probably hard to approach if you're weak. In fact, I know she is. She'll chew you up and spit you out. And very easy.
I mean, she does. So she does an ECHL referees.
Well, I mean, if you confuse edge with instability, you're gonna misread her. And I feel like that's the lesson here. Because when you see sharp tongue, witchy, aggressively sarcastic, you immediately go one of two ways. You get intimidated and back off, or men tend to sexualize it and assume that she's chaotic and something easy to play with. And both are really bad.
I think she's actually trying to weed out the people who are going to be a little bit too weak. The problem with weak men who couldn't handle that is that they don't know they're too weak to handle that.
Now, Johnny, you're absolutely right. I'm in alignment with you. I'm saying she's really framing herself as a strong-willed or strong-flavored, maybe, and she wants
strong flavor combined with the fact she wants to be able to find somebody to lead. Yep.
Without collapsing under it.
Mm-hmm. So she's strong and she's hard-headed. You're going to have to be able to lead her, is what she's saying. She's not going to be easy to lead, but she needs to be led.
No, but I'm getting some very loyal to my dog in her friend group. Her feral friend group. Now, this line is doing a lot of the work here for me, because under all that sarcasm, under all that edge, the line is actually telling us what matters to her, Johnny. Loyalty, a sense of belonging, community, emotional bonds, and quite frankly, the people that she trusts. And it's important because it balances that sharpness. Now, without that line, the profile would feel like pure attitude. But with that line, it starts to feel like this woman has a pack, has attachments, and values connection deeply. You're not getting soft access to her just because you showed up. Now, look, the Cleveland Monsters line, frequently spotted yelling at refs. Now, I think this is a strong line in the profile. This is something else I really like because it gives you a real world visual about her. And it's also regionally anchored, and it's the energy and humor from it I like. And yes, John, it is chaos, but to me, it's a bit of contained chaos. And I feel like it's good because it makes her feel like a real person doing a real thing and not just a dating app NPC or bot that's talking about traveling, tacos, and another day at the office.
Plus, minor league hockey tells you she's a little scrappy. So I don't know if you guys know this, but minor league hockey, you're a lot more likely to see a fist fight break out. NHL, the referees kind of try to clamp down on that. They're like, you're the top tier sports. You don't need to do this to sell tickets. Well, guess what? Minor league hockey needs fights to sell tickets. So they're going to have a few more of those. And so that kind of adds to the sort of thing she loves about the sport. Watching guys bare knuckle box on ice skates and screaming obscenities at refs. The American way. I love it.
Well, it tells you that she's passionate and she's loud when she cares about something. And here's what I like, nephews, and this is why I'm probably going to swipe right on this profile. This woman is fun in public. And she doesn't mind looking ridiculous and she's invested. And I'll tell you, that's kind of attractive to me.
I got Mini Mom down for a right swipe.
Oh, Mini Mom likes this one too. I ate Mini Mom, but we're 2 for 2 tonight.
Bless that bitch.
I think I'm swiping on this one. I don't mind a woman that's a little chaotic because I have strong leadership and I have a program and I have structure and I know what the deal is, nephew. She's got to fall in line and follow my lead or we're not in alignment and I'm not going to be around long. And it's just that simple. But yeah, Johnny, I don't ever think that young men should take women to concerts or sporting events, but if I got to know her and I had a few dates with her, I'd probably go to a hockey game with her. Yeah,
I think a hockey game's actually a hockey game's not the same as a concert or a movie. A movie, you're not supposed to talk. A concert, you won't hear each other. A hockey game, you can. Now, the difference is the action is going to interrupt any chance that you have of a deep conversation. So I would definitely avoid that, on the first 3, maybe even 5 dates. But, that's going to be something down the line that would be fun.
Well, she's tatted up too. Like a woman with a few tats. All right, we're swiping on her, Johnny.
Let's do it.
That bitch.
All right, let me check out this next one.
She's from Akron, the land of rubber. Man, back in high school, we used to
Akron.
Now, listen, I live in Pittsburgh now.
Bro.
I live in Pittsburgh now, but I grew up in Austintown, Ohio, and we had to play Barberton at the Rubber Bowl one time. I don't even think that stadium's still there anymore. But it was crazy. It was like this big giant hole in the ground where people play football. But it was a pretty cool looking stadium.
Johnny, I got another profile here, and I'll tell you just from the preview, I like it. Lindsay, 33.
We are a horseback rider, are we?
All right, but you know what? I know, and I know you tell me that's just a trap all the time when they throw in the horseback ride. All right, look, Johnny, before we get into this, I want to talk some more.
I don't think it's a trap. I think it's definitely it's definitely expressive, but I wouldn't say it's a trap.
I want to talk a little bit more about our nephews and how their own dating profiles are telling on them, Johnny. And one of the fastest things that women can read in their own profiles is when there's bitterness or even confusion in the bio. And nephews, I'm going to be honest with you. This is where a lot of your profiles completely crash out. It's your bio.
Bruh.
All right, the bio is where you guys are leaking emotional residue. All right, and this is where I see the bitterness in the profiles and the mixed signals and the passive aggressive shots, the confusion about what they even want. And I got to tell you, nephews, and a few of your profiles, I've seen you guys bring leftover energy from the last relationship, last situation you were in, and little lines that you think are meant to sound strong. They're really, they sound irritated, defensive, or really just emotionally unresolved. Healthy people can feel that fast. So if your bio sounds like you're still arguing with dating, you're still punishing strangers for old experiences, or you're still trying to even pre-defend yourself for being misunderstood, that profile is not going to feel inviting. It's going to come across as too heavy. Nobody wants to feel like they're stepping into somebody else's unfinished business.
Bruh.
All right, and that's why a good bio, nephews, it's important and it feels clean. It's clear. It's composed. You don't overshare in it. You don't lecture. It doesn't throw little shots. It doesn't sound like somebody building a defense case.
Yeah, there's a way of showing your attributes without having to list them as if you're putting together a resume.
Well, nephew, it should sound like somebody who knows who they are and is not dragging baggage into their introduction. All right. So as we go through some of these profiles tonight, that's something else Johnny and I are going to be looking for. Are these women dragging emotional baggage from previous relationships into dating, or are they ready to date? Because sometimes, look, let's be honest, sometimes women just want a boyfriend and they're not ready for the responsibility of one.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you can definitely tell, especially when you're looking at a profile, if most of what you're seeing is stuff she's not going to tolerate or things she's not looking for or not into, there's a reason she's going to list those things, and it's because not only has that happened, it probably happened recently, and there's a chance she may not be completely over it, which may or may not end up being your problem if you decide to go forward with it. So that's the kind of thing. You got to be able to look at this. You got to be able to kind of watch that body language, listen to her, not her words, but her wording. Now, I tell you all the time, her actions be more than her words, but her choice of words and the way she emphasizes whatever it is, that does matter, because even though it's verbal, it is still kind of a body language thing. It's called reading the room, basically.
Now, nephews, we want you to have a more disciplined profile, because that's what your profile should be telling about you. You're disciplined. All right. This is who I am. Step correctly. And look, this is probably one of the highest lessons that I want you guys to take home from tonight's show. A strong dating profile, it's not loud. It's not thirsty. And nephews, you're not trying to force chemistry. You're not overselling your value. You're certainly not asking for approval. And your profile, a disciplined profile, it's not trying to appeal to everybody. A disciplined profile does something much stronger than that. It quietly communicates, this is who I am. And you need to step correctly. Now that's power, because the goal of your profile, it's not to impress all the women on the app. It's to present yourself so clearly that the right woman can feel it and the wrong ones keep moving. All right, that's what standards look like in profile form. When your photos are clean, when the prompts are controlled, nephew, when your bio is clear about who you are as a man, the whole presentation feels grounded. And these ladies can feel that. They feel that level of self-respect that you have for yourself. They feel the order and structure that you have in your life. They feel somebody who's not trying to be chosen by everybody. And that's the shift I need you to make. Stop building your profile to appeal to everybody. All right. What your profile should say is, this is what I'm on. All right. All right. So let's get back into these profiles. I don't mean to get off on a tangent. I just want to see you guys all do better. And I get a lot of questions. So I want to cover things in these live streams that can answer some of the questions that I'm getting.
Yeah, I think the more you guys understand the initial attraction and the science behind it, I think that's what's really going to be helpful.
All right, Johnny. Next up, we got Lindsay, who's 33. I like it when women are active in their pictures, when they're not just a bunch of pictures of them standing in the mirror looking at their butt. All right. So she's actually out doing something. It gives me a little insight into her personality.
Showing you that great future she's got behind her.
Now, Johnny, Lindsay has no bio.
So we got her straddling a horse, but no bio. Lindsay, bio writing horseback straddling. Anyway, what else we got?
And that right there is all you need to know about bitches.
All right. So, nephews, when you have women, especially in their 30s, and they don't take the time to fill out a bio, you should immediately shift to that this is a low effort profile. And
Or an ad.
she's probably not going to put much effort into other aspects of her life. That
She's basically told you and everybody else that could possibly view her profile that her looks are going to be enough and you'll swipe. And sadly, a lot of guys will.
Yeah, and you're right. They absolutely will. And we'll get one or two prompts because that's where these women can play it safe and still attract potential interest. And that's
because they don't have to think of something to say all by themselves.
My perfect Sundays include hot yoga, nap, and cooking a cozy dinner. So, I mean, I would say,
bless that bitch.
If there was more to the profile and she wasn't just playing it safe, trying to tell us stuff that everybody likes, napping and cooking a night cozy dinner.
Hot yoga you can go and do off with it on your own or with your friends, but
I love yoga. I do yoga in the morning to open up my heart chakra, Johnny. I'm doing like cobra pose, bridge pose. Sometimes I'll do child's pose or pigeon pose in the morning. I want to move with humility throughout my day. So I love starting it with yoga and a little bit of prayer.
One time on a Bumble date, I did downward doggy style. That's all I can really remember.
She says the quickest way to my heart is if you're emotionally mature and eat clean.
Bless that bitch.
I'm really upset she didn't fill out a bio, Johnny. Between
because
the
thing of it is,
the eating clean.
The thing of it is, the short, choppy answers to the prompts tell you a little bit of something. But the thing of it is that these prompts could just be prompts for her to feed you a line of bullshit. And without a bio, I got to assume that's a fairly decent chance that might be. It sounds like she didn't want to say too much about herself, but she wants to make sure any guy that does match with her is fit. So not only is she looking for the highest value she can find, but she's, again, maximum efficiency through minimal effort. The only thing I know that works that way is judo.
Johnny.
And that's a hard place to find a girl.
I like yoga. I like women that cook for me. I love eating clean. I consider myself very emotionally mature. But this profile, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
There's not enough effort in it.
And for you younger guys, eating clean does not mean eating a Tide Pod. Let's not start that shit again.
Bruh. No, do we want to talk about this a little bit, Johnny, about healthy eating, or do we want to save this for a Monday night show maybe and just talk about,
well,
I remember last year you gave the nephews some really good games. So if you could just real quick tell them where they can find the freshest food in the stores.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, guys, is that, when you're into a good workout routine, fantastic. But remember that much more of what you're doing in the kitchen is going to matter than what you're doing in the gym, even though both are very important. The gym's going to give you consistency. It's going to give you strength and endurance, but only if you are making the right choices, not only in the kitchen, but in the grocery store before you even get to the kitchen. So for that reason, I tell guys, unless you're some big, giant mega store, most places like your Aldi's, your Save-A-Lots, places like that, I would say do the vast majority of your shopping around the perimeter, the outside perimeter walls. Why? That's where the outlets are. Why is that important? Because that's where they plug in the coolers that are along those walls. We want perishable food items, so the fresh meats, the produce, those are all in those coolers because they need to be kept cool. If it doesn't go bad and rot, it probably isn't good to eat unless it's dry stock. Okay. The biggest thing that I would tell you is to, especially if you're in a regime to gain muscle, you're going to need to be consistently hitting your protein, not going over your goal, not going under your goal. You got a little bit of a cushion in there. And I'll tell you what, if you leave in the comments, we'll get to that. So anyway, make sure that you're getting the fresh foods from the outer perimeter walls, fresh produce, fresh dairy, fresh meats, things that you can cook, things that you can, make sure you're buying something you're going to use in the allotted time before it goes bad. But one ingredient foods are always going to be the best way to go. If it comes in a box and you have to add a powder that you add milk, butter, or water to, it's probably not something you should be eating, and it's not something you should be relying on a daily basis. And I would probably avoid it at any cost if you're able to. Also, on a side note, today I did crush Crazy Eights in 31 minutes. The only reason I did that is because instead of my 1 minute, instead of 1 minute between rounds, I only gave myself 30-second breaks. Now, if you would like a copy of the Crazy Eights workout, type Crazy Eights in the live chat or in the comments, and I will go ahead and type it right out for you in the reply.
All right, Johnny. Next up, I think this might be our last profile for the night.
All right. How many we got? 2?
We've got 2 swipes already.
All right.
Well, I really, I'm into the profiles where they talk about yoga. I like the eating clean. I'm disappointed. I had to pass on the last one. There just wasn't enough in it. Nephews, you got to understand something. I want you to understand that your time is the most valuable resource you have. It's not status. It's not money. It's your time. You're never going to get that back. So you need to learn how to choose to spend it wisely and not waste it on women that aren't putting effort into you. And if they're putting low effort into their dating profiles, they're going to put low effort into you because they're going to expect you to do all of the work. So that's just something to keep in mind, All right, let's check out this last one tonight, Johnny, and then we'll get things wrapped up.
Yeah, remember, billionaires and oligarchs, they still get the same 24 hours a day you do.
All right,
can't buy more.
10. And 10 is 25, 5 foot, rarely drinks, and no bio.
It was going so great. Petite, cute, mid-20s.
Now, Johnny, I have dated women this age, and within the last year and a half, and I got to tell you, with there being no bio for me,
I mean, we're already dealing with a generation that, by and large, is not very good at communication. And young men, I'm talking to you because this is your age group. Remember that in this day and age, I hate to say it, but if you have effective verbal communication skills, you're already at least a step ahead of the game, maybe 2. In this girl's case, I think she's, again, trying to get by on her looks and figures that enough of you guys will swipe on her. And again, a lot of you will.
She says, teach me something about driving.
Well, I got my driver right here.
Yeah, well, I don't know about you, but I'm not letting some woman behind the wheel of my whip who doesn't know what she's doing. But hey, nephews, if she's
not using my golf clubs either.
Another prompt here said, if I cooked you dinner, it would be Filipino chicken adobo.
Okay. I'll try anything once, twice if I like it.
And then this is a company line, Johnny. It says, hopefully you're also really into outdoor activities like going for a hike or camping.
Bruh.
Out of all the profiles we've seen tonight, Johnny, this is the most generic. In fact, it's got one photo.
You put a bunch of guy activities in there. Yeah.
It's got 10 words. I don't even know that this is a real profile.
It wouldn't shock me if it wasn't. This is kind of a model shot picture, only one, no bio, short answers to the prompts, and pretty much company line.
Nope, not having it. All right, nephews.
Time to recycle that tin.
Look, tonight, not really about the ladies' profiles. That's just a vehicle. The real lesson was this: your profile is talking before you do. Your pictures are talking, your bio is talking, your prompts are doing a lot of talking, and the whole presentation is telling these women whether you move with clarity or whether you move with confusion. And that matters, because too many people get on Bumble, get on Tinder, get on Hinge looking for results without ever checking the signal that they're putting out, right? And then it doesn't go how they want. And they want to blame the app. They want to blame modern dating. They want to blame women in some cases. They want to blame everybody but that weak presentation that they put forth. And no, that's not how it works. If your profile,
that's why the ego's a dangerous thing, man.
If your profile is thirsty, nephew, I guarantee the ladies will feel it. If it's bitter, they're going to feel it. If it's try hard, they're going to feel it. But the good news here is that if it's disciplined, it's grounded, clear, women feel that too. And that's the game. And that's it, nephews. Dating, it's bigger than apps, because the truth is how you present yourself anywhere is usually telling on how you carry yourself everywhere. So this is not about getting more matches. This is about self-awareness. This is about self-respect. This is about making sure that what you put out actually matches the values that you have. And that's why we do this, not for content, not for numbers, certainly not for subscribers. We do this because some of you are the ones who are going to get this. And you're just one correction away from tightening up your whole life. One correction away from moving better, from choosing better, from presenting better, and becoming the man you were meant to be. So take what you heard tonight and apply it. Tighten up your photos. Tighten up your bio. Tighten up your prompts and clean up your signal. And stop asking the world to guess your value while you're presenting weakness. All right, nephews, we'll catch you on the next one. We're going to be back Monday night with Ask Your Favorite Uncles. Please write Johnny. Send in your questions. We love answering them for you. It's why we have the show. Shout out to you. John, you got anything you want to say before we wrap this up tonight?
Yeah, man, listen, we got St. Patrick's Day coming up. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, we are having the big celebration on Saturday. If you have never been to the Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day, it's a lot of fun. Now, I know the O'Donnell's tent in Youngstown is going to be some huge attraction for all like 20 people, but I'm telling you, the St. Patrick's Day in Pittsburgh is absolutely amazing. It's basically a street fair that really just takes up the entire downtown. So my advice is park slightly outside downtown. The extra walk won't kill you. But it's an amazing experience. The parade is awesome. There's green beer everywhere, which you should not drink, is bad for you. But it really is an overall good time. And, come on out if you get a chance. If you do see me out there, and if you do come out to Pittsburgh for that, you see me out there at St. Patrick's Day, hey, come say hey, give you a little fist bump, something like that. Hey, I'd love to see you.
Absolutely. That goes for both of us. And you see either of us out on public, do not be afraid to come up and give us a fist bump and tell us you appreciate what we're doing, man. We are very approachable.
We're a little awkward, but we're approachable.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We appreciate you, nephews. Thank you for watching. We'll be back Monday night with Ask Your Favorite Uncles. We out.
Yeah.